Welcome to Hollywood and Sip. I'm your host, Kat Smith, and with me today I have Amy Miller and Brad Surosky of Transcendence Theatre Company, and they're here to tell us all about their 2020 virtual season, which, by the way, this is a big new thing.
It is. We're so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Well, really, I tricked you because I don't want to talk about Transcendence at all. I want to talk about the baby. Let's talk about Micah.
Oh, Micah's so cute. He's actually sleeping right now.
Crazy.
He's been on so many Zoom calls and meetings. He's normally like in my lap with a bottle. So he's being quiet. But
so, you never know. He could wake up and we'll run and get him.
Maybe he'll make a cameo.
Who knows? It's just a dream come true. So he's just the love of our life, and we're having so much fun, and we're just so grateful. So we can't wait for everyone to meet him because he hasn't actually met a lot of people in his life. So
yeah, strange times. But also, yes. I imagine, especially after seeing your wedding reception video, I just imagine you guys sing and dance all over the house all the time. And if that's not true, don't burst my bubble.
There's not a moment we're not singing and dancing.
It's actually true. I realized too, when I sing to him, I sing a lot of musical theater songs. I feel I don't know very many other songs, but he's very cute. I sing him like Hello Dolly. I sing Hello Micah to him, and he really enjoys it. So
I love that. And so you really are here to talk about the virtual season, and it starts this Friday. The 10th is the first show opening. Why don't we go through each of the three shows? We'll tackle the gala separate because that's a bigger monster, but the first three shows, let's tackle what they are and how they're going to work.
Yes, so obviously we're going online. And what we're trying to do is called the Best Night Ever Online. We're all needing connection right now, and it's so hard to not be in the park. So we're trying to have people create their best night ever experience at home. So we have, and we can go through it later, we have everything. They can order picnics and order their wine and create their best night ever. The first show is Don't Stop Believin'. And these are compilations of the past 8 seasons of Broadway Under the Stars. So all our shows were filmed, and you're basically going to be watching a Transcendence movie. So the first show is about, obviously, not stopping believing and taking those hardships of life and overcoming them so you can continue living your dreams in the world. So there's over 86 performers actually in the show. Can you believe that? 86.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. We have something representing every year of Transcendence that's in it. I'm not giving away the entire show flow, but some people's favorite memories in the park was Q Smith singing "I Am Changing." We had "You'll Never Know When You Walk Through a Storm" from Carousel was done in 2015. There's just all that jazz. We have 2 numbers from Chicago because we were supposed to be doing Chicago now.
Yeah, that would have been your second full-on musical theater performance that wasn't just a compilation of things.
Yes, yeah. So Don't Stop Believin', it's got dance in it, it's got singing, but there's incredible, vocals in this. And I am so excited for the world to see this because the venue and Jack London State Park and the beauty of where it is, plus the Broadway talent, plus everything, it just takes your breath away. So that's show 1. Would you like me to go through the family show?
Yes, please.
Great. So do you want to talk about the family show?
Since you're the artistic director, I want you to talk about the shows. I can talk about the picnics a little bit more.
Okay. So Fantastical Family Night is creating that family experience. We've had eight seasons, and so we're going to have different compilations and different numbers that the children have done in the show from the kids' camps. So they will be involved in that production. There will be an appearance we've had a lot of animals in the shows, so there will definitely be an appearance by the animals. We have everything from Disney songs to songs from the great musicals for children. So it's an entire family affair. We always say to all our audiences, it's not just for the kids, it's for the kids at heart and for all the families. And it'll be amazing in the editing process. We're creating all the shows. I was like, how can we get every child in? Or how can you make a movie that has a montage of every kid that's ever performed on that stage as we create the shows? So it's amazing how you can edit these shows. We have multiple angles and we're getting sound mixing. They're going to be really special. So that's the family show.
We also have a virtual kids camp that
Yes.
we're doing as well, which still has spots available. That's going to be towards the end of July, but those still have slots available, that's going to be really cool as well.
Yeah. And then I Hope You Dance is our big dance show of the summer that everyone loves, the energy of dance. So we're trying to tell people to encourage them. You know, you've heard different quotes about dancing through life and dancing when the storm is happening. And it's really going to be a fun show that we'll have songs that'll hopefully make you want to dance and connect with that. And do you love dance? Dance is my background. So it's just one of the most amazing things.
I love dance. I'm picturing myself in the early 90s. I had an audition for SeaWorld in San Diego, and they were looking for singers who could dance, meaning the dance wasn't as important, but you had to go through this full-on amazing chorus line type dance audition to get to the singing audition. So I'm just going to let you know I did not make it that far.
Well, but you'll be up dancing watching this show, I hope.
I'll dance like nobody's watching.
That's right. That's another one of my favorite quotes. Shows themselves, like when we're looking at the compilations, there's like 20 numbers in them. There's multiple musicals. I mean, you're basically we do pop songs as well, but you're having songs from like 12 to 15 different musicals in them. And they've also, beyond the performers on stage, we have, in terms of directors and choreographers, about 15 different people's works in it. And behind the scenes, with a band and technicians, over 350 people that have been involved in making each of these shows possible. So, yeah.
You know what's fun as a community member too is that for some of us we didn't catch on right away. So there's the older shows that we didn't get to see is one thing, but also because of the love of your show and meeting our community, I find that a lot of your performers have chosen to stay around. And personally, I met them all after they'd already retired from performing with you. So it'll be kind of fun to go back and actually get to see them in their element as opposed to just around the community.
Yes, it's wonderful. You're seeing like that's a long span of time. So to see all those, this is never before seen footage too. Besides a couple songs, we've never released any of our full performances online, ever. So you're going to see things that you may never have seen before. And I'm excited too, the performers have never seen themselves in it.
Or their other performers.
Or their other performers over the years.
Yeah.
So we're basically doing the season like we normally would in the park, just using footage from the past shows and making them into an inspiring experience that will uplift people, give people hope, share joy, happiness, love. I mean, what we always try to do in the community.
And speaking of experience, you were talking about there's some additional things you can do to enhance your experience with Broadway Under the Stars. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I can talk about that. And one thing I want to mention is, when we had to cancel our season in the park, we decided this, not just to cancel everything, to go on and do this online season for two main reasons. One is, of course, it furthers our mission to uplift a community and hopefully way beyond that now. And then also, how can we give back to the community here? How can we help the local businesses and our partners who have helped us when we first got here too? So what we also I wanted to mention that this is free. We're not charging for any of these. People can go on very easily and they pick their show and reserve their ticket for free for the show. We, of course, if people want to give a donation, we're accepting donations. But they will then get a link sent to them about 24 hours before, which will be sent, and then they can watch the performance and everything. So that's really special. So what we decided to do was we have our 2.5 pre-show picnic, 2.5 hour pre-show picnic normally. We now are doing a pre-show of about a half an hour that we are really urging people to go log in. So if the show starts at 7:30, at 7 o'clock, we'll have a half hour pre-show, which is going to include a sponsor spotlight interview each night, where Amy and I interview a different sponsor each night, whether it be Redwood Credit Union or Sotheby's or Sandra from Girl on the Fig. We'll have that for about 4 minutes or so. And then we have this really, really fun thing. It's called Broadway and Vine. Do you want to talk about Broadway and Vine?
Yeah, so it's like a Broadway and Vine talk show. We're uniting Broadway and the vineyards of Sonoma. So Tony Gonzalez and Maggie Kanzler-Ness it's their show, and every night we're featuring one of our artists, or if they're married or something, 2 of them at the same time. And then we have our wine sponsors. So they're doing a wine tasting with the wine sponsors. And then after that, they're just talking about their experience on Broadway, their experience on the shows at Transcendence. So and we have a really cool jingle for it. So we've made a whole new show. So that's Broadway and Vine.
Broadway and Vine. It's going to be really fun. And then we have the other experiences. We have, we'll be talking about education. We have special interviews that will happen as well. Some other surprises that will be taking place. And they're different. Like each night has a different winery, different sponsor, different artist. And it's really what we're about with that pre-show anyway, is that connectivity. It starts that connectivity out before the show even begins. So the opportunity we also have when you go to our website is for people to order wine from the Broadway and Vine, the actual varietals that they are tasting ahead of time, if they want to drink it with them as they're tasting, as well as we have Girl on the Fig is our restaurant partner, who you can order in advance each night, certain items that you can get and eat before the show or with the show. And we have catering partners as well, from Chef Kyle to Catherine Venturini. I'm trying to remember who else. There's like Austin Perkins. There's a few. Each night has a different caterer as well, and so you can order food and drink and really make it a special evening. That's what we're urging everybody. We're gonna do it. I mean, we're gonna get food and drink from these partners and make it a special evening. And each one is different, so you can reserve as many shows as you want. They're free. And watch and get different experiences kind of with each one.
I'm testing out a little tiny projector now that hooks up to my phone, because I'm hoping that I'll get to show it like on the side of my house or something and lay out in the backyard under the stars and try to recreate it.
I think that's great. That's what we have to do that here. It's like if you can't do it, how can you recreate it? And the shows are not on demand too. What we're trying to do is we're all going to watch it at this time and create that experience together. And they'll stay up a little bit longer if some technical issue happens with someone. But all of our artists and family members and friends from around the whole country, and even in London and Japan, they're able to watch this, and they're so excited because so many of them have never been to Sonoma and the Field of Dreams.
I think also this could actually benefit you in the future, because, for example, I told you I finally went for a chorus line, was my introduction, and it was just such an amazing experience. And even though you and other performers had told me all about the magic of it, there's no way to know what that's like until you've actually done it. So this way, people all over the United States and maybe the world will get to see that experience that we're talking about. And so I think you're going to have a lot of people who want to come out here after this is back live again.
Absolutely. And you're right. It's like this transcendence, and that's the space. It's an energy that you have to feel, and you do have to be there. It's kind of unexplainable. But the beauty of these shows is we're trying to help you create it, and they're so beautifully like mastered that people are going to be like, wow, I need to get there to feel that. So
how wonderful that you have this footage too. I mean, hindsight, you never could have seen this coming. I mean, Broadway is closed at least for the rest of this year, probably a little bit into next year. So it's amazing that were you just filming because you just wanted to have the memories? I mean,
it's all her. It was all her, and it's 3 cameras.
I was
different
very
angles.
persistent. I was talking to my mother last night because we were talking about that foresight of having all the different angles, multiple different nights. And she was like, where did you get that idea from? And my mom loves photographs and videos as much as I do. So it's kind of like, oh, we want to preserve this moment, right? We want to preserve this moment and be able to have it. And 2, you never knew down the line, would we share it? Will there be a documentary someday? What we got behind the scenes footage and all those things. And initially 2, it was this impossible dream, and sometimes it's come to manifestation or whatever you want to call it. And it was just so impossible for it to happen that we wanted to document, oh my gosh, it's happening. People are showing up. The stage is getting bigger. There's more performers on the stage. Everything's growing. So yes, we tape the shows, and I'm grateful for that.
I love it. There should be a documentary, and it should be at Sonoma International Film Festival because that'll come back someday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So before I let you go, do you want to talk a little bit about the gala? Because that one is your fundraiser, and that's also going to be online, I imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And do you want to say about the nonprofit partners?
Oh yeah. Another thing that we're doing is we do this in the park. We have a nonprofit partner each night. And it's different in the park because they can be there with the table and all that stuff. But we are going to have a nonprofit partner with our online season for each night. So that's 18 different nonprofits. And what we're doing is anybody who donates to Transcendence online for that day or night or the whole thing for that nonprofit. I mean, to us, the nonprofit will get 10% of whatever we make, whatever is donated to us. So we have, lots of different nonprofits in the community that we're already working with, that we've been working with for a while, from Lulu's to Pets Lifeline to the Boys and Girls Club, to a whole bunch. And you'll be able to see them on our website. But we're asking that people donate to us, of course, to help us, because right now we are totally reliant on donations because we canceled our season. We gave a whole bunch of refunds to people who had bought tickets. So that's our only stream of income. But we also are hoping that people donate during those days so we can give 10% back to some of these nonprofits who need it as well. The gala celebration is it's our big fundraiser, but we are going to be fundraising through this the whole time. Just pretty much giving people the opportunity to donate when they reserve a ticket, when they're watching the show, or after the show if they're inspired. And then our gala we'll have, we're still putting it together, but we're looking at silent auctions or different online auction items that we'll have, and we'll have a goal that we'll need to reach that we'll be putting out there for everybody to know. And we are confident that the community here will help us get there.
And the show itself is, I always say, powerhouse vocals. And, in our shows too, we do a lot, which is amazing, a lot of dance and group numbers and everything. And this is more like solo based duets, like a time where, a single artist, can join as a group, but be able to really shine in that way. So it's incredible. And it's always one of my fun nights. We try to make it really fun. So and we're grateful to the whole community. I think one of the things that's amazing that I want the Sonoma community to really experience with this, we all built this together. I would be on that stage saying, if we build it, they will come. And we built this together. Every volunteer, every donor, every single person who spread the word. We built this together, and it's amazing to watch it grow in these videos. And to look back at next year is 10 years of Transcendence in the park.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So
look what you've built. Yes. And I'm going to have Nico on soon to talk about the educational programs, because I know that's a big part of your mission, but it's also a whole topic on its own. So we'll tackle that next. And I've got my tickets. I'm super excited, and I'm working on my little projector because I'm going to have my little outdoor experience. We've been talking to Amy Miller and Brad Surosky of, I added an F to your name. There's no F in your name. Surosky. From Transcendence Theatre. And do you want to give out some links? How can people find tickets? How can they find the show information?
Yes, it's bestnightever.org. So you go right to bestnightever.org and you can reserve your tickets there. And there's a little 30-second video about what the shows are about. And you just reserve your tickets and they'll send you a link 24 hours, I think, before the show. And you'll be able to watch the show on your computer, television, projector. We actually have a whole bunch of information on how you can hook up your experience, like a whole how-to page for all the different devices.
Awesome.
So, and phone number?
The phone number is 877-424-1414.
Well, thank you guys so much for chatting with us today. It's so good to see your faces again, even if it's on a tiny little screen.
Yeah,
thank you so much for having us, and we appreciate you so much.
All right, good luck with the show. Break a leg, and I'll see you soon.
Yes.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.